Sipho Masinga, a former group executive for technology, dropped a bombshell on the committee. He spoke of a proposed takeover of the SABC news operations by the Gupta family. Masinga was invited to a meeting with former The New Age CEO Nazim Hawa, during which this takeover was discussed.
Before the launch of the NN7, there was a meeting to try and bring a contract to take over SABC News and rebrand it. Obviously, the TNA company was going to manage it. The SABC was going to supply the staff and the buildings. They were not going to pay any rent. They were going to collect all the advertising revenue. So I knew it wasn't going to fly from the start.
Masinga says the details of this deal was composed in a 3-page contract. Earlier, Madiwe Nkosi, former general manager for labor relations, said she fell out of favor after she started questioning certain irregular practices. On one occasion, she was asked to draft papers to dismiss a colleague. She refused because the process was flawed. Nkosi says she received her instructions from former SABC COO Claudie Motswaneng.
For one reason or the other, nothing happens at the SABC without the blessing of Mr. Motswaneng.
Nkosi spoke of employees living in fear of their phones being bugged. Supporting this claim, Mbulaheni Maguvhe, the former group executive for human resources. He said whenever he needed to talk to someone, he would step out of his office. Maguvhe said this fear was common.
So you all feared him, in a way?
If we were to put it that way, yes. I mean, I think he's a very powerful man. He's powerful if he cannot be called to order by the board.
Maguvhe had initially asked the committee if he could give his submission in camera, but the committee declined.
But the more I sat here and I listened, the more it made sense, or I'm convinced that, you know, the national cause is more noble than the personal cause. It might have brought you some personal questions, but I think South Africans are better informed because we insisted you do this thing publicly.
Earlier in the meeting, Smith shared a letter sent to him by the SABC in which the broadcaster said it would lead its own evidence as well as cross-examine any witnesses. If the committee failed to comply with this, the SABC would pursue further legal action. Smith, supported by the rest of the committee, said Parliament would not be dictated to by the SABC. He said the committee would respond to the SABC's lawyers by the close of business. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.